Hi, David Salmon here, the cycling granddad, cycling from Lhasa to Kathmandu via Everest in October or September 11. Here I am getting ready for the great downhill, and just have a look at some of those switchbacks along the way. Absolutely awesome and amazing. Well worth a climb to the top. Here's a quick team photo before we head off down the pass. And as you can see, we're all kitted up, wrapped up, layered up, and ready to roll. Now we're heading now towards base camp in Everest, and as you can see from the terrain, it's quite rugged, dirt tracks, but relatively smooth. Nothing that a good mountain bike with a bit of suspension would be able to handle. And as we get there, we now see Everest in its full glory. Absolutely amazing just to hit base camp, and here's our view from our campsite of the evening. Also, we need to watch out for the locals. You never know what they're going to be up to, either during the day or even during the night, making lots of noise there, running around, those good old yaks. And then the following morning, it's great to be celebrating, and here we are celebrating at base camp Everest, just over 5,000 meters, and as close as we can get to Everest cycling. And as you can see, we have to really protect ourselves from the extremes of the weather, and the weather changes quite dramatically. Here's just a few pictures of Everest from our base camp, and as you can see, the weather changes quite dramatically at times, with the cloud coming in and the weather changing quite a lot. Now here's the morning of base camp at 5,000 meters, and as you can see, it's quite sunny, but during the evening and during the night it goes down well below freezing. Here we are now back on the road. Now with regard to all the agriculture and the farming that goes on, is there any more that this little tractor can carry? I don't know, but most of the little tractors chugging along the roads were carrying similar amounts. Here we are now back on the road, and it's pretty straight, and looking into the distance all the time at awesome scenery as we're heading towards the various mountains. Here's one of our last camps of the tour, and afterwards it's just a question of just keep going, enjoy the scenery and have a great time. Just look at those vanishing points on the roads. Very straight, very undulating, very easy to cycle along. Just look at that road there heading into the distance. And those mountains just on the horizon. Here's our last pass, the Tangri at 5,132 meters, one of the highest altitudes we've been to. And as you can see, a lot of people up there celebrating reaching the pass. And we've got time for one last team photo on our last pass before we head off on the downhill. Now for the great descent. Now this is the first part, which is a descent of 87 kilometers, downhill, switchbacks, and just a great straightforward road all the way down. Now here's our last camp in Tibet, or just on the side of a mountain, halfway down the pass. And as you can see, we're right in the middle of the clouds here, so we're at the same distance as when you look up to see the clouds. That's our altitude that we're at. Now we're ready for the mega descent, the 58 kilometers across the border into Nepal, cutting our way through the mountains. So the mountains either side of us, towering above us, and sheer drop to the right hand side. This was the most amazing downhill and the most amazing cycle ride. Here we go. Here's a landslide that has knocked out part of the road. This is quite typical in the area. And as you can see, lots of prayer flags to wish us a safe journey. And here we are right in the depth of the valley. You can see from the shadows that we're very deep in the valley, cutting our way through and making our way through the various zigzags of the roads throughout the whole valley. Here we are now at the border between Nepal and China, just coming through just that little straightforward simple gate. Lots of bureaucracy, lots of things to sort out, queuing, etc., but no big hassles. And now we're in a totally different tropical world. A tropical world of being able to layer or take off a lot of our winter clothing, etc., and enjoy the mountains on the mountainside, the farming on the hillsides, and the amazing views as we make our way through along this track here. And here we are now on our last camp in Nepal, very much like a tropical rainforest really. We're able to then relax a bit, warm up a bit, and just reclimatise to the extremes of the weather up on the Himalayas. Then it's back on the road again in the morning, working our way through the various mountains in Nepal, heading towards Kathmandu, and all the time just making our way through the valley along this river. And as you can see, typical houses usually have their farm animals in the front garden, chickens, goats, etc. Quite normal to have them running around in the garden to provide them with food, etc. Here the kids have built a swing out of bamboo poles just to keep them amused. Anyway, here's our last lunch break, our very last lunch break, penultimate lunch break here, ready to head off. And look at that view here. We're right on the side of a mountain, and a chance to sort of sit down, have a rest, take in the atmosphere before we head into the hustle and bustle of Kathmandu. And here's our journey's end. It's now time to pack up, head for home with memories that will last an absolute lifetime. And this is the end of part 3 of Lhasa to Kathmandu via Everest with David Salmon. Here's my bike, £150 off of eBay, got me all the way through Himalayas and this mega journey. If you're looking for more, go to thecyclinggrandad.com. Look forward to catching up soon. Thank you.